Today, we're diving into the incredible rise of one of the most dominant and iconic athletes ever to step foot in the squared circle, Ronda Rousey. Whether she's slamming opponents in the UFC or making history in WWE, Ronda's journey has been nothing short of explosive. Get ready for an inside look at how she transitioned from an MMA sensation to a trailblazer in the WWE's women's division. So grab your popcorn, wrestling fans, because this is the story of Ronda Rousey's journey to becoming a top WWE superstar. Ronda Rousey's early beginnings, the judo prodigy. Before Ronda Rousey ever graced a WWE ring, she was already a force to be reckoned with in the world of competitive sports. Born in California, Ronda began training in judo at a young age, quickly showing a natural aptitude for the martial art. By the time she was in her teens, Ronda was already making waves in the judo world. Her crowning achievement came in 2008 when she won the bronze medal in judo at the Beijing Olympics, becoming the first American woman to medal in judo. This victory was a major milestone in both her personal career and for women in the sport. But for Ronda, this was just the beginning. While her judo accomplishments were impressive, she wasn't satisfied with simply being a medalist. She wanted to dominate in another arena. The UFC era, Ronda Rousey becomes the baddest woman on the planet. After establishing herself as a judo champion, Ronda set her sights on mixed martial arts. She made her professional MMA debut in 2011, and her rapid rise was nothing short of sensational. Ronda's signature move, the armbar submission, became legendary. Her fights were often over in mere minutes, and her undefeated streak in the UFC made her the first female bantamweight champion. Ronda quickly earned the title of the baddest woman on the planet, and for good reason. She was dominant. She defended her UFC title 6 times, each victory more impressive than the last. Fans flocked to watch her fight, and the UFC's women's division grew exponentially under her reign. With her fierce persona, undeniable charisma, and unparalleled fighting skill, Ronda Rousey became one of the biggest stars in MMA history. But as with all great athletes, Ronda eventually faced challenges that would shake her confidence. After suffering a couple of high-profile losses, she decided to step away from MMA. Her departure from the UFC left fans wondering what was next for the once unstoppable fighter. Enter WWE, a new chapter for Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey had always been vocal about her love for professional wrestling. Growing up, she was a fan of WWE and drew inspiration from the legendary Rowdy Roddy Piper, even adopting the nickname Rowdy in honor of her idol. So, when rumors began circulating that Ronda might transition to WWE, fans were excited but not entirely surprised. After all, Ronda had the athleticism, the star power, and the charisma to excel in professional wrestling. The big moment arrived at WrestleMania 34 in 2018, when Ronda made her official WWE debut. After months of speculation, she teamed up with Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle to take on Stephanie McMahon and Triple H in a mixed tag team match. Ronda stole the show that night, with her impressive athleticism, seamless transition from MMA to wrestling, and undeniable presence in the ring. She proved in that match that she was more than capable of holding her own in WWE, and the world quickly took notice. Her debut wasn't just a moment for Ronda's career, it was also a significant turning point for WWE's women's division. At the time, WWE was in the midst of the women's evolution, with stars like Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks proving that the women's division could headline major events. Ronda's addition to the roster signaled that WWE was ready to elevate its women's division even further. With Ronda now in the mix, WWE had a legitimate crossover star capable of drawing even more attention to the women's wrestling scene. Ronda Rousey's dominance in WWE, championship glory. Ronda's transition to WWE was nothing short of smooth. Within months of her debut, she set her sights on the Raw Women's Championship. At SummerSlam 2018, Ronda challenged Alexa Bliss for the title and emerged victorious, capturing the Raw Women's Championship in a dominant performance. This was a huge moment for Ronda, as it firmly cemented her status as one of the top superstars in the company. But it wasn't just her title win that made an impact. It was the way she dominated the competition. Ronda brought her signature moves from MMA, including her lethal armbar and Piper's Pit, which made her a force to be reckoned with in WWE. Her reign as Raw Women's Champion was a defining moment for the division, as she not only elevated the credibility of the title, but also set a new standard for what it meant to be a champion in WWE. She wasn't just a celebrity, she was a top-tier wrestler who could go toe-to-toe with the best of them. WrestleMania 34. Ronda Rousey's debut. Ronda's debut at WrestleMania 34 was nothing short of spectacular. Paired with Kurt Angle, Ronda faced off against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon in a match that would solidify her as a WWE star. The chemistry between Ronda and Kurt Angle was undeniable, and her intensity in the ring made it clear that she belonged. The match was a statement, a sign that Ronda Rousey was here to stay. Winning the Raw Women's Championship at SummerSlam 2018. In what was one of her most dominant performances, Ronda defeated Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam 2018 to claim her first WWE Raw Women's Championship. This victory was a pivotal moment for Ronda, as it demonstrated that she could not only transition from MMA to wrestling, but also take the top spot in WWE's women's division. Her win was more than just a title change. It was a signal that Ronda was going to change the landscape of women's wrestling in WWE. Ronda versus Charlotte Flair at Survivor Series 2018. Ronda's match with Charlotte Flair at Survivor Series 2018 showcased her resilience and toughness. The match was intense and brutal, with Charlotte mercilessly attacking Ronda with a kendo stick. Despite the match ending in disqualification, it was clear that Ronda's toughness and willingness to take punishment would make her a mainstay in WWE for years to come. This match helped cement her as one of the most intense and dominant women in the company. Main eventing WrestleMania 35, the first women's main event. Arguably Ronda's biggest moment in WWE came at WrestleMania 35 in 2019, when she, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch made history by becoming the first women to ever headline WrestleMania. The triple threat match was a historic milestone for women's wrestling, and Ronda was a pivotal part of this monumental event. Though Becky Lynch ultimately won the match and the title, Ronda's performance in the main event solidified her place in WWE history as one of the most influential women in the company. Ronda's impact on WWE, elevating women's wrestling. Ronda Rousey's influence on WWE extends beyond her matches and titles. Her mere presence brought significant mainstream attention to WWE's women's division, drawing fans from outside the wrestling world, particularly from her MMA background. Ronda's arrival helped raise the profile of WWE's women's division and pushed it into the spotlight, showing that women's wrestling could be just as compelling as the men's. Additionally, Ronda's MMA background helped shift the style of wrestling in WWE, particularly for women. She brought a more hard-hitting, realistic approach to her matches, which influenced other wrestlers to adapt and incorporate new moves and styles to keep up with her intensity. The future. Will Ronda Rousey return to WWE? After her main event at WrestleMania 35, Ronda Rousey took time off to focus on her family and other personal projects. Fans have been eagerly speculating about her return to WWE. Although there has been no official word, WWE has left the door open for her to come back. Whether Ronda returns or not, her legacy in WWE is already cemented. She has changed the game for women in wrestling, raised the bar, and left an indelible mark on the company. Ronda Rousey's legacy in WWE. Ronda Rousey's journey from UFC champion to WWE Superstar has been one for the history books. She broke barriers, changed the landscape of women's wrestling, and helped elevate the entire WWE women's division to new heights. Whether or not she returns to the ring, Ronda's legacy in WWE is set in stone. Ronda's story is one of triumph, determination, and undeniable talent. Let us know in the comments what your favorite Ronda Rousey WWE moment is, and whether you think she'll make a return. If you enjoyed this video and want more exciting content, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.